Scientists have proven many times that you need enough sleep to stay healthy. For example, in 2019, Chinese researchers announced that insomnia increased the risk of stroke, heart attack, and several other heart problems by 18%. A year later, another group of scientists explained why healthy sleep is important for weight loss. A lot of scientific works on this topic have been carried out, and there are more and more of them. Recently, British scientists looked at data on sleep patterns and health indicators of about 88,000 people in order to find the answer to the question, what time is it best to go to bed to prevent heart disease? It turned out that there really is an ideal watch, but not every person can afford such a regime. The results of this scientific work were published in the scientific journal Science Alert. The study involved thousands of volunteers from the British Biobank, a project that collects various data about people for scientific purposes. Scientists for 7 days using accelerometers monitored at what time they go to bed. Let me remind you that the accelerometer allows you to determine the position of the human body, vertical or horizontal. The researchers also asked people to fill out questionnaires to find out details about their lifestyle and health. After collecting the necessary information, the authors of the study continued to follow the volunteers for the next 5.7 years. During this time, 3,172 people, 3.6% of all study participants, were diagnosed with diseases of the cardiovascular system. It turned out that most of these people went to bed after midnight. Also, problems with the work of the heart occurred in people who went to bed before 22 o'clock in the evening. Scientists have made the first conclusion: falling asleep too early or late increases the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. The second takeaway is that the best time to fall asleep is between 10 o'clock p.m. and 10:59 p.m. Based on the data collected, people with this sleep pattern had a 12% lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease than others. Scientists don't know why, but the relationship between falling asleep time and health status has been observed most in women. According to one of the authors of the scientific work, David Plans, this may be due to the fact that the hormonal system of men and women work in different ways. It is also possible that the results were skewed by the age of the volunteers. They were from 43 to 79 years old. When women start menopause, the risks of heart disease increase on their own. What are circadian rhythms? It is worth recalling that within every person there is a biological clock, which is also known as circadian rhythms. They are needed in order to regulate chemical processes that arise in response to various kinds of signals. Throughout the day, the speed of this clock is constantly changing, which affects a person's activity. At some times we are very productive, and at other times we want to rest. According to scientists, circadian rhythms are regulated by an area of the brain called the hypothalamus. Most likely, problems with the work of the heart are really related to the fact that when falling asleep late, a person does not see the morning daylight. Due to the lack of this signal, the internal clock gets lost, which leads to health problems. It turns out that it is better for each person to fall asleep at the same time, between 22 o'clock and 23 o'clock in the evening. However, not many can afford such a luxury among us. There are many people with staggering work schedules. One day we can go to bed early, and the next we can no longer afford a night's sleep. However, people with the regular schedule rarely provide themselves with rest at the recommended time, because after work it is necessary to do household chores. Because of this, bed procrastination often occurs, which is also harmful to health.